honestly, people don't, like, sleep on the bus-only transportation resorts.
No.
Because I'm going to tell you one thing. No matter where you stay, at some point in your trip, Disney transportation is going to let you down and annoy you. It will be the most annoying part of your trip because you will either just miss a bus and have to wait a very long time with very tired feet for it, or the line for the monorail will be excessively long. The line for the Skyliner at the end of the night will be long, or it will lightning and you will have to get bus transportation, and they have to now come up with these buses to get you to these Skyliner resorts that they didn't have running before. And find the bus drivers to do it. There's nobody driving the Skyliners, just the people that are working there. And they're not going to go hop in a bus and start driving a bus all of a sudden.
Right, yep.
So there are downfalls to every single resort and every single mode of transportation. They will annoy you at some point in your trip.
Hello, Happy New Year, and welcome back to If It Were Up to Us, the podcast where we redesign, rethink, and reimagine the ultimate Disney theme park destination. I am your host, Chrissy, and this is my co-host, Stephanie. Hey, Steph, how you doing today?
Hey. I thought, maybe should I change my little intro for the new year, but I feel like it's just going to have to stay hey. One, because I'll forget, and that'll be just what I say anyways, or...
I can understand that. Yeah, part of me was like, new year, new me, but nope, still chaotic, still a little bit sick.
It's
fine.
Not technically the new year yet for us.
Not for us anyways.
It's not even Christmas yet. I'm not there yet, okay? Talk to me in a few weeks. I'll let you know if I'm doing the whole new year, new me.
Yeah, I just have a feeling this new year is going to catch me off guard just as much as the month of December did, and if that's where we're headed in 2026, then so be it. It'll be a great year.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, everything is fine. Mm-hmm.
Everything's fine. Nothing's fine.
No, nothing. The world is on fire. It's fine. Yes. So for our listeners, we're pre-recording these holiday episodes because we have no time during the holidays to do anything but holiday. So, so we'll be in the new year for you guys, but we're still in 2025 and still as chaotic as ever. And yeah, it just is what it is. So
it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay. Any new news that we need to get through? I feel like I was just going to say, I feel like for this episode being in the new year and us still being in 2025, it's not really new news if it's coming out, but whatever. It's
late news. But I've seen every big Disney channel thing out there, the DFB guide and stuff, reporting that they have released the actual date they're going to start repainting the castle. And it's January something, I don't know. And allegedly the cranes will be in and out by noon, every day, so that they won't be obstructing
for every
photos.
Picture. Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, I'm assuming they just mean down, because you're not going to pull a crane in and out.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it flashed me back to when they were painting the castle for the 50th anniversary, and my photos have the crane in the back.
I don't even remember, obviously I wasn't there, so I don't know. But, I can't remember what it was like the last time they painted a castle, so.
And I think we both discussed this, that we were okay with it. We just hope it's not, dull and boring.
Yeah. I just want vibrant colors. Yeah.
Yes. Don't look dull.
Yeah, other than that, no. No new news, which is good on our front because I don't think my heart could handle it. Although I think I did see something, maybe from Disney Food Blog, that they're increasing rates again, which is totally expected. That's what they do every year, but but I didn't see it confirmed by Disney.
Leave it. And they did do it in fall and leave it.
So, I don't know. We may be talking about, rumors here, but
new rates and in the actual new year.
Yeah. But anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, other than that I got nothing. So, nothing new. Okay, what's new with you at home? Anything?
Oh my god, I just got over like the week of hell.
Mhm.
The stomach bug wreaked havoc on my family.
Mhm.
Somehow, knock on wood, I think I made it unscathed.
I was just
So,
going to ask if it ever hit you because I know last time
I
we
don't know
talked it
how
had
it's
made the rounds.
possible. I literally don't know how it's possible because
Yeah.
I was in the trenches, okay? Like, at some point, it somehow was on my face. And
Mhm.
how I did not, or how I survived and my husband didn't is,
Yeah, so
I
weird.
don't know. And I'm like, I literally chat GPT'd on Friday night. I'm like, okay, here's, the timeline. When can I stop feeling this like impending doom coming
Yeah.
my way?
Right.
Because like you're just waiting for it. You're like, is this gonna be the day?
Mhm.
Is this
Is
night gonna
today
be
the
the
day I
night
go
that I
down?
wake up in the
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And it basically said like if you don't have it by like Sunday or Monday, first of all, he was like, you're probably in the clear right now, but like for sure if you don't have it by Sunday or Monday, like you're good. So I think maybe tomorrow morning I will wake up and feel like
Relief.
maybe. But I feel like as soon as I do that, it will
Yeah.
come.
Mhm.
It'll be like, nope, we were just waiting until the worst time ever for it to
Yeah.
hit you. It'll be like morning of Christmas or something, and it'll be like, nope,
Mhm.
you're done. Sit
Yeah,
down.
vomiting on the presents. It's fine.
But no, it was awful. I mean, I had to take extra time off of work, and the off
Yeah.
of Thanksgiving extra time I had to take off, and
Yeah,
it's just
all the time.
my hands are like broken and chapped and
Mhm.
stuff from just like cleaning
Oh, you poor
nonstop.
thing.
It's fine. We're fine. Oh, and like my washing machine broke at the worst time
Right,
possible.
I do remember you saying that to me, and I cannot even begin to imagine. Yeah.
My husband was at his work Christmas party. Fine, that's great. It was like 6:30, and I was cutting up because my work Christmas party was the next night. So I was like, I'm in charge of it, of course, because I like to put more stuff on my plate than I can actually handle. And so I'm chopping up all the cheese because, of course, I'm gonna save money and just do that myself. And I hear like this water noise like next to me. I'm like, what is that?
What
So
is
I
that
go
sound?
and investigate, and I'm like, okay, well, washing machine is not supposed to leak out of the bottom. I know this for a fact.
Right, that's
So
kind of the
I
whole
call
point of
my
a washing
husband.
machine. Hmm.
Yeah, he's like, is it still leaking? I said, no, I turned it off. I'm not an idiot, but like, I turned it off. I don't know if you should come home though. And he's like, yeah, I'm not going to. I'm like, okay, it's cool. We're good. It's fine. My daughter, I'm putting her to bed a couple hours later, and she's like, my stomach hurts. I'm like, oh, do you feel like you're gonna, throw up or have to go to the bathroom? She's like, no. And I'm like, okay. And put her to bed. And I'm like, I'm gonna go to bed early too because there's nothing to do. And I'm laying there, literally, and I'm like, maybe I should have given her, the bucket that every mom has, the bucket. It's usually like
Oh, yes.
an Easter bucket from, Walmart, 98-cent bucket.
Hmm.
Like, maybe I should have. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. I'm like on my phone and I hear this noise and it sounds like water, okay? So I'm like, oh my god, the washing machine. So I like jump up, and as soon as I jump up, it hits me that she's starting to cry, and I'm like, oh no, that's not water from the washing machine.
No.
Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, it's fine, let me get this stuff and go put it in the. Oh, I can't wash anything because that thing's broke. So, yeah.
Oh, my dear.
And my husband rolls in like a couple hours later, and he's, had a good night. He's enjoyed
had fun.
himself.
Yeah.
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 Okay. So I'm already annoyed at him, unfortunately for him. It's not his
Right.
fault. None
Sure.
of this
No.
is his fault. But I am annoyed at him because he was not here. Okay.
Yes. Uh-huh.
He lays down. I said, why didn't you go shower? Because like where they were, they like smoke in the bar, and I like cannot smell cigarette smoke, especially like at night. It'll bother my allergies. He's like, I can't shower. I'm like, okay, so you did enjoy yourself. So now I'm just even more annoyed. And then, you get up a couple hours later because she's going again, right? And I was like, you're going to have to get up and help me. And he gets up, he's like, I'm gonna puke. I don't feel good. I'm like, feel bad for you in the morning, buddy, when you wake up, because I'm pissed.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't know it now, but I'm angry.
So I told him later, I was like, just so you know, like, I can't be mad at this man for being out, like, one night when I was gone for a literal week. Yep. Like, living my life.
Yep.
Okay, so I can't be mad.
Struggle.
And yeah, so I told him, I said, I'm not mad that you know, were out for your Christmas party one night of the year, but the fact that all of these things happened at the same time and you weren't here, you automatically are the problem. Not the washing machine.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
And he's like, I know. So he did go get us a washing machine because he was trying to fix it. And, you know, men fixing anything, you hear whack. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. And then you hear a final, like, slam. And I was like, oh, he gave up. That was this is not happening. I'll just go spend the money to get a new one. Yeah. Like, I ain't doing this type of thing, in which he did. So, washing machine's fine. And everybody is healthy. That was a long-winded story, sorry.
I am here on the emotional roller coaster that was. Also, I feel every bit of it in my being. Like,
I know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what I told you. Like, I feel like I can tell you about this because I know you know exactly how this feels.
Mm-hmm. I do. I feel all of it. From the impending doom of being sick to like just like I should have done it, and then you just regret everything, and then it just.
And it can never just be like the kid's sick, ever. It just there's always also something happening, and immediately. When my son was little, and it was just him before I had my daughter, we had a really bad ice storm, knocked our power out, and he decided then to have a stomach bug. No power. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No heat. We had to run a generator just to bathe him, and like, it was just, it's always that way, and I don't understand. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel you. I
hope nobody's like eating their lunch while they're listening to this.
Yeah, right. I'm so sorry if you are. Listen,
I didn't describe anything.
The plague has hit both of our households kind of at the same time.
Yes.
And the stomach flu hit us earlier this year, and we all went down and out, and it was a problem, and this has been the cold that never has, like, it's just hit every single one of us, and so I feel you. I feel like, and of course, because then when everyone goes down, like everything else goes to the wayside. So there's like weeks of laundry, right? Beyond like the washing of everything because we're all sick and we need to get it clean. You know, like it's, Mm-hmm. And then to top it all off,
better,
like though. Christmas is this week. And so, like, you know, we hadn't been to the grocery store. We hadn't all of the plans that we had, they all went to the wayside, and we just survived for a couple of weeks here. So I feel you.
Couple weeks. Is everybody better now?
Everyone is better. The youngest ended up with a double ear infection, which I just feel terrible that I did not take him back to the doctor sooner. But he seems to be doing better. Excuse me. I am still, somewhat hacking up a lung, but it's fine. I really do feel better. In the interview, the episode with my mother, which went out delayed. My apologies. We all had the plague. But it's a rough go. Okay. But we made it through.
Our moms don't care.
No, they don't. Well, my mom was here. She experienced it, so she knows. Like,
she knew.
Yeah, it was crazy. But yes, hopefully we're all healthy and we can make it through the holidays, which is like good, but also we're getting ready to potty train our little one. And so,
that's right.
We're going to take the 3 days that we have here kind of at home after Christmas and see if we can get him on the right start. It feels too soon for me, but I also know everything he does feels too soon. And I just, he is interested in the potty and, like, using it appropriately when we ask him to. So I'm going to go for it and just pray to the gods that the plague hit and we can just make this work and everything will be good. We'll see. But yes,
hopefully.
Fingers crossed. So, yes. But yeah, no, other than that, we're all fine and dandy. So I will take a healthy Christmas, or even just like a mildly healthy Christmas. So,
Yeah, honestly.
yeah. We'll lower my expectations.
Not asking for much here, okay?
Nope. Not asking for very much. So, all right. Well, should we get into today's episode? I think it's going to be a fun one. We're talking all things resorts today, and I'm very excited about this because I know there are a lot of people out there that say the room really doesn't matter. It's just a place to rest your head, but not at Disney. And there's so much at Disney that can be offered. So I'm excited to dive into this episode and chat resorts with you. So let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Okay. Okay, so like I said, we're talking all things resorts. There are, and I'm going to throw some stats at you. There are 32 Disney resorts when you split out for like DVC villas like Copper Creek, right? Technically it's at Wilderness Lodge, but so there's 32 Disney resorts and they total more than 26,000 rooms owned and operated by Disney. Is like that blows my mind. And then there are additional resorts that are not owned and operated by Disney, like Swan and Dolphin, Shades of Green, some of those that are on property. Those account for another like 7,000 rooms. So like that's a lot of places to stay on property. Right? Like it's, ranging from budget-friendly studios and like standard rooms to extravagant multi-bedroom villas. Like there is literally something to fit everyone's needs and budgets. And there is even a hotel for your four-legged friends that has a daycare. So Disney really has kind of thought of it all when it comes to keeping you in the Disney bubble. So that's just like a brief intro into all things resort. So, of all of the resorts that Disney has, before we get into it, how many have you stayed at?
Man, I knew you were going to ask me this.
Okay. You should have been prepared.
I know. I'm not, okay? Sorry. I'll just go through it. Pop Century, a lot of times. All-Star Movies. Caribbean Beach. French Quarter. Saratoga. Wilderness Lodge. Is there somebody else I'm forgetting? I don't think so. That's it.
That's actually quite a few of them.
Not really 6.
I mean, well, yeah, when there's 32, but that's actually a pretty good number. So I have stayed at Port Orleans French Quarter and Riverside. I have done Poly, Grand Floridian, and Wilderness Lodge. I have never stayed at a value resort, which makes you sound super bougie.
Mm-hmm. You are. It's okay.
I am. It's fine. I'll just own it. And Yacht Club. I've stayed at Yacht Club.
Not so 6.
All-Star. Yeah, so 6. So we're tied.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. I don't think there's any other ones. I feel like because I visited so many of them, it's like, no, but you didn't sleep there. You didn't stay there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What
we've done the ones near Disney Springs, like the Drury and stuff like that. Like I've done that, but Disney resorts, that's it. So.
What of those ones that you've stayed at is your favorite?
That's tricky. Okay, so here's where it depends for me. Like, it really does, for me anyways, depend on, what my purpose is for staying, or what my intended trip is. Like, every single one of them has been a favorite for a different reason. I loved French Quarter, and here's what I'll say. Probably French Quarter is, my favorite because it's a reasonable price point. It is a smaller resort, so you don't have, the internal bus loop. It's a bus to get to every park, so there's no, I feel like it's somewhat in the middle of property where, even the Magic Kingdom doesn't feel as far of a bus ride. And then you have the boat to Disney Springs, which is great for, after park visits to the establishments there. And so I do really, really enjoy the, like, French Quarter. And then I also really loved Yacht Club. I feel like of the boardwalk, like, resorts, Yacht Club kind of felt smaller to me. May have just be because of the way, like, the resort is, it's not, like, broken up. It's all one building, right? So it is automatically smaller. But I loved being able to hop on the Skyliner, walk to Epcot, like, and then the bus to, like, Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom didn't feel like that long. So, also I love the way that hotel smells. So I would say those are my like top two.
Yeah, I have. I would say maybe I've never been into the Yacht Club lobby, but I think I have. I've definitely walked into the beach club.
Let's be honest, every resort smells amazing. There's not one that I walk into and I'm like, ooh, this is not great.
Awful.
Yeah.
No.
What about you? What's your favorite?
I love the French Quarter too. We stayed there last February for like my races, for the Run Disney races, and I loved it. Bus only transportation I know is like a big thing for people who are like they hate it. I loved it, especially at this resort because it's small. Yeah. And the bus stops are right there, and it's literally, and for race weekends, like that's the hotel I recommend, because where the race buses exit out of the Epcot parking lot is literally right across the little road from French Quarter. So you're back to your hotel so quick.
So fast, yeah.
But yeah, love that. Also, Pop Century has my heart. I didn't think that it would anymore, but I stayed there for just one night in November, and it just feels like home. Because we stayed there. That was my first ever Disney resort. And then I think we stayed there 3 more times after that, or 2 more times, whatever. Like, kind of in a row, and it just became home. I will say, this is why I kind of like the bus-only transportation. Love the Skyliner. My family loves the Skyliner. But being on that extra lane, like extra part of the Skyliner, has its downsides. 1 in the morning, the lines are longer, and you still have to like transfer again. Like at the end of the night, it's like, oh god, I gotta transfer again. It's kind of annoying. I kind of would like to just get on a bus and be like one and done.
Yeah, that's why I love French Quarter, because like I'm trying to remember, because I know that like French Quarter and Riverside, I'm pretty sure the bus is the same bus, but I also feel like it picks up at French Quarter like last, but also somehow like drops off first. Like I can't remember if it's one. I know the day that we went to Disney Springs, the one to Disney Springs stopped, like we boarded it at French Quarter. It went to all of the bus stops at Riverside, and then back to French Quarter, and then went to Disney Springs. Like, we caught it on that first one, and I was like, this is weird. But it may have just been because it was that early in the morning when we went. But I just remember, the bus stop being relatively close to our room, which it's a small resort. It's going to be really close anyways. Yeah. But where we were at it was so close. Like, we cut through, like, a little, like, cut through.
The courtyard.
Yeah. And it was right there. And we loved it. And I loved the boat to Disney Springs too. So, yeah.
I just feel like it's perfect, especially. It's fine for kids too. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's water slide and stuff. My kids loved it. But it's like where I choose normally to put like my adult only couples,
same here.
Like, that are traveling, because it's just quaint. There is less kids because like it doesn't have the crazy theming. I don't know. It's great. I love it so much.
Yeah, I feel like, 100%. There were definitely less kids around. And also, like, Riverside just has more dining options, so it's a lot easier with kids than it is over at French Quarter. There's just, like, the food court and then the lounge with the beignets. And then it has the lounge there with the live music and stuff, in the evenings, and that's really nice, so.
And you can do horse-drawn carriage rides, and it's so pretty at night. It's all lit up. Listen, I love it. Yeah. It's great.
It's a beautiful resort. Just stay there, okay? Everybody just stay there at least once in your lifetime.
Yeah, I think we can just finish this, like...
Yeah, that's it.
This is it.
We don't need to... Yep. Okay, so should I get into a little bit of Disney history about the resorts in and of itself? Like I said before we got started, I could deep dive on every single resort because the planning that goes into this stuff and, like, the things that happen. Like, I'm amazed at all of them. I mean, like, legitimately amazed at, like, everything that goes into. We see these resorts pop up, like, and we've seen a couple in the last few years, right? Starting with, like, Riviera being, like, the first big resort that came, to be. And then we saw the Island Tower at the Poly, and we're getting ready for the new one over at Wilderness Lodge. Like, we are seeing these kind of stuff, like, pop up, but I just think it's so, like, the way that it's all come about. I mean, there are multiple resorts that we could do, like, just like a little snippet on, with the history in the way that they have changed from their original plans and all of that kind of stuff. So the history nerd in me was going crazy. There were 1,700 tabs open on my computer the day I went into this. But I thought maybe we could just talk about the OG resorts, the original ones at Walt Disney World. But I can't go into that without noting that when I say the OG Disney resorts, I really do mean the ones at Disney World, because even though Disneyland happened first and there was the Disneyland Hotel, it was not owned and operated by Disney. It was a partnership that Disney had to license their brand. It was owned and operated until 1988. So by another entity. So, like, we can't even consider the Disneyland Resort an OG Disney hotel until it became one, later on. So
when did it become one?
They bought it in 1988. They bought it in 1988. So, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So the original resorts are the ones that they built and had to figure out how to run and do for Disney World. So a lot of people know that the monorail, right, and Magic Kingdom, that's what opened with Disney World in 1971. The resorts opened, 2 of the 3 opened on opening day, October 1st, 1971. And the 3 resorts that were there were the Contemporary, the Polynesian Village, and Fort Wilderness Campground. So those were the 3 that were originally opened there in 1971. And then we see them kind of grow out from there. However, there were other resorts planned for, like, the monorail loop, and where there was going to be a Venetian one and a Persian hotel, right? Like, all of these ones that they had eventually said they were going to build, and these were going to be the themes for these, like, exotic locales. And for a couple of reasons, they did not get built. 1, they kind of ran out of money to do it. And 2, the ground around the Magic Kingdom is rather unstable. So where they have built the resorts, they've done a lot of work to make sure that they're safe. And there were just some areas that they really could not build on. So, okay. Most people do think of the original Disney Resort as being the Contemporary. That was the first one. And there's a lot of really cool facts about this resort. But these kind of resorts actually came to be, specifically the Contemporary and the Polynesian Resort, came to be because of a partnership between Disney and U.S. Steel. And U.S. Steel basically came in and they completed the structures for both the Contemporary and the Polynesian. And the really cool thing about it is we hear a lot about the fact that the Contemporary was built like a chest of drawers, right? Like, they built the structure of it, and then they slid the rooms in like drawers in a set of drawers. And the original outhouses, that seems weird. Outhouses is not the right word. Longhouses is the word I'm thinking of. Longhouses. Yes. The original other 8 buildings at the Polynesian were built in the same way. So the structure was built, the rooms were manufactured off-site and brought in. Okay, so engineered by WED Enterprises and the Welton, Beckett and Associates of Santa Monica, California, United States Steel, and then the construction being overseen by WED Enterprises. It's interesting because the Welton, Beckett and Associates and WED Enterprises, that, like, collaboration was also the same, like, partners that they did when Walt Disney built the buildings for the 1964-1965 World's Fair. So it was the same, like, partnership, right? So between these, like, architects, oh my gosh. Okay. So
Words are
Walt
hard.
was always fascinated by new construction methods, like even so far as back. We talked about the Monsanto house when we talked about Tomorrowland and like the future. Um, so US Steel had come up with like another subsidiary called the Realty Development like division, and it was eager to use and publicize a construction method like we said called unitized modular construction. Okay, so here's what I found when I was doing my research, which was very interesting, was that there is an urban myth out there that Disney intended to be able to utilize this modular system for refurbishments. So like they slid in like a set of drawers, they could slide out, was the theory, I guess, behind this, right? Allowing them to like pick and plug like guest rooms at will. And that the only reason that they didn't do it is because the structure settled and it trapped the rooms within the structure. And I could totally see this being true when you think about how Walt's original design or concept for Epcot was that the residents would like, people could just come into their things at any time and fix and upgrade their, you know, dwellings and all this stuff, right? But if that's what Disney really did intend, they would never have put in the permanent concrete structures and like balconies, dividers between the rooms. Like, there is no way this is true.
Yeah. No.
And I think, honestly, like, Disney would know what a major hassle it would be to haul in cranes and, like, deal with that kind of construction noise. Like, forget about it. No, thank you.
Let me just pluck this room out real fast so we can redo it.
So they'd update the one that was off-site, and then they'd put in a new one, right? So they'd take that one, put it in, and slide out the old one. Yeah, I just don't. In theory, it makes sense, but no. No, thank you.
No. Logistically, no.
Yeah. So the design of the Contemporary was actually inspired by a building in Walt's model of Epcot. You can actually see it in when you drive through like the Progress City on the People Mover. There is a building there that was like, it's right at the base of like the shopping center. For the main tower, they built 13 steel trussed A's, right? Kind of without the triangle at the top. So it's just like that bottom piece, which makes up the current shape of the hotel. And they designed it so that they would have 2 monorail tracks going right through the concourse. Originally, there was an issue with, they wanted to put the tracks through the center of the building, but they realized that as they did that, it would shake the building too much, and so they had to kind of re-engineer and figure it out kind of on the fly, and they ended up moving the tracks to where we see them now, which is why you don't see anything kind of under... I say anything underneath them, but on that side, because they're anchored into the ground and then the building was built around them. But if they had done it through the middle, it would have shaken the building too much. So, shook. Anyways, words are hard. Okay. The original drop-off area, and I saw pictures of this, which is so cool. The original drop-off area was actually where the indoor lobby is now. So cars would kind of make the loop, drive into essentially what we know as the building now. There was like parking there, and like, so where the lobby is now was originally just like a drive-through covered like drop-off area. I'm
looking at pictures because I need to see.
Yeah. It's there, it's like really the few pictures that I saw of it, like you can kind of see a car coming out of like underneath where the monorail track is. So like right there on that kind of, it's not a north side, it's a east side. Anyways, the concourse where the monorail is located and the main dining and stuff, it's set up like a mall called the Grand Canyon Concourse. It features the iconic Mary Blair mural, right? Which actually I learned she was drawing in a hangar in St. Louis. So once again, St. Louis, tied to Walt Disney World. I know. Set up like a mall. So they had the north side, which was like a shopping area with stores, and some of those stores do still remain today, especially the one that's kind of off to the windows. And then the south side is where you saw the dining. It's still similarly set up this way. You kind of have those like half walls kind of separating out the dining areas and all of that. It featured a number of meeting rooms and larger ballrooms in the original structure. I think I may have mentioned this on a previous episode, but the Ballroom of America is there in the Contemporary Hotel. That's where Nixon held his famous "I am not a crook" press conference. So the stage that's there that kind of drops up and down in that ballroom, that's where he did that. I thought that was really kind of a fun fact. Okay, anyways. The hotel became known for its top of the world restaurant, which opened in 1972. Had amazing views of the Magic Kingdom and featured nightly entertainment from celebrity entertainers accompanied by an in-house orchestra. The main tower itself has about 380 individual guest rooms. Those have recently been remodeled to a Incredibles theme, which has like that retro futuristic kind of vibe to it. And then when it was built, there were actually 2 3-story garden wings, a north wing and a south wing. Eventually, the north wing was going to be demolished to make room for Bay Lake Tower, but the south garden wing still remains. Any guesses on what a room in the Contemporary Hotel cost per night that opening year?
$40.
Between $24 for a garden wing room and $44 for a tower room. That hurts. That hurts a lot. Anyways, okay. So, moving on to the Polynesian Village Resort. That was the name of the resort when it first debuted with the opening of Walt Disney World. Original concept art shows that the plans were actually for a 12-story tower. Interesting. Not that we've seen anything like that come of late. And then the plans were switched to make the resort seem more like a real South Seas village. The original plan consisted of 1 great ceremonial house, which we still have today, and 8 longhouses, holding a total of 419 rooms. The Great Ceremonial House central feature was a beautiful combination of like volcanic vaultwork. There was a real waterfall, some small ponds, tropical plant life. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And they pumped in like the smell of these like, tropical flowers and plants, and had all of this like just amazing colors, very 1970s like colorful vibes, right? And then that has since been demolished, and we now have our like tiki guy, this guy right here, who stands at the center of that lobby. But I wish I had memories of. I feel like I don't remember when, and I don't think I have it in my notes when they like took that out and redid it. But like I want that back. I want a real like lava rock waterfall in the middle of this hotel. I think that would be amazing.
Saw a picture of it. It looks really cool. Yeah. When did they take it out?
I don't know. I don't have it in my notes.
Because I feel like this photo doesn't look that old.
I want to say, like, that's why I was like, I wish I had memories of it, because I know we stayed there when I was younger, and I feel like this new rockwork structure and like the like globy kind of light fixture that's there now was not there not too long ago. But anyways. Okay, the original ceremonial house was divided into several areas. The main floor was considered sea level, and the second story was the Bay View Terrace. And then they had this northwest corner called the Outrigger Assembly House. This is where we have Captain Cook's and Trader Sam's to this day. Like, that building or portion of the building is still there. It's just been reworked. It also contained the Musketeer Village Clubhouse, which was actually a nursery. So they had on-site like childcare back in the hotel at that point for parents to drop their children off. And I wish we still had that. I want that so bad. I know we have all these activity centers, and that's great and wonderful, but you have to go with your kid. And not that I don't want to be with my kid all the time, but
you have to go with your kid, damn it.
I mean, go run along.
Okay, before you move on, I looked up our waterfall in the Poly, and it was actually renovated at the end of 2014 and opened in the beginning of 2015.
Okay, I didn't think it was that long ago.
Yeah, the
but
picture
I just don't have any
like,
memories of it.
That's a decent looking picture.
Yeah, I don't have any memories of it, but I know. I feel like, I mean, obviously my husband and I were there on our honeymoon in 2013, so we would have seen it when we went to the luau. I don't know. I just don't remember.
That mom brain. Them kids.
Mm-hmm. Them kids. They just ruin it for you. The property also hosted a pool, a marina, and a putting green at the time. And then, but for recreation, the real draw for staying at the Polynesian was a wave machine that was intended for guests to be able to surf, and then a variety of watercraft available to rent. As we know now, them seas are not safe, so don't do it. But they had a whole mess of like different kinds of boats, including one called a bob around, which to me just looked like a giant buoy that, like, I don't know how, it was a circular boat. I don't know how you like steered that. I just don't get it.
I miss the little tiny blue ones that they used to have.
Yeah, like the little dinghy things or whatever they were called. Yeah. So the original hotel hosted luau's on the beach until a permanent structure was built for, like a permanent, I call it an amphitheater or whatever, was built a year after opening, or opened a year after opening. So that structure has then been demolished, and that's where we have the towers now. If you still want to experience an OG part of this resort, from opening day, you can visit the Tambu Lounge, which was an opening day lounge and remains largely unchanged to this day, except for some of those soft fixtures and stuff like that. Like the views from the lounge and all of that, still the same. Ready for your celebrity fun fact for this hotel?
I know what it is.
Do you know what it is?
Yes.
Go ahead, share it with me
Beatles.
then. Them darn Beatles. I know it.
Darn Paul McCartney. This is when he decided, like...
John Lennon.
Or John Lennon. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like he was breaking up the Beatles.
Yep. He officially signed the paperwork that broke up the Beatles in a resort, at the resort in 1974. So sad. Okay, so originally, this is still the 70s. We're like somewhat new into air travel. A lot of people are still driving to Florida, and they wanted to be able to have a variety of options. Oh, actually, let's double back for a second before I paint a picture of the campgrounds to you. What do you think a room cost at the Polynesian?
Oh, I wonder. I'm going to say pretty much the same. I'm going to still say 40.
Yep, $22 to $40. So lovely. Yeah. And now they're $600, $800 a night. Yeah. Anyways, okay, moving on. So, as we know, when they built the Magic Kingdom built on the second floor, right? Or second story. They had to dredge all that. That became Seven Seas Lagoon. To the right of that, depending on where you're looking, is Bay Lake, which is a natural lake to this location. And nestled on the shores of Bay Lake is Fort Wilderness Campground. Like I said, air travel was still relatively new. A lot of people were still driving when they went on vacation, and so they wanted to have some kind of other option when people visited the Magic Kingdom and what would eventually become this vacation kingdom, right? So the original design did include a campground for people to come and camp out. This is where I thought was so funny, because back in the days of Disneyland and building Disneyland, they just flew by the seat of their pants. No one ever done it before. We don't know what's happening. And really, that was true of the OG Disney resorts, in that, like, the people they brought in to do this didn't know too much about running hotels. They just knew what the vision was, right? They wanted to kind of stay near the magic, be highly themed, be what you came to expect when you sought a Disney vacation, right? However, after that, there really wasn't too much that they knew about this stuff. So that's where we see some of these changes and things happening around these resorts, and happening pretty rapidly. This is very much the case for the Fort Wilderness Campground. This was kind of like a backseat thought, really. They knew they wanted to do this. It was kind of an afterthought. The person they put in charge of this was a Disneyland employee with a degree in recreation and no experience in campgrounds whatsoever. And they said, no, this is actually a good thing, because he can go out with any bias, or go without bias, and figure out what we need. So he went on a 6-month research trip to various campgrounds around the United States to learn and observe what the best practices were. And that's what they went with when they came back to building this resort. Okay. this, I wish I could dive even more into like this because it just seems so funny to me. Okay,
Gosh.
resources were eventually pulled from the building of this resort. And so they would have to like go out and steal tools from other job sites from the other hotels just to be able to do what they needed to do at the campground. And let's be honest, it's a campground. You don't need too much. You're not building resort rooms, you know, like you're not having all of those finishes, but still, what came to be ended up being 232 campsites that opened in November of 1971 because it was an afterthought. Radically, like, I mean, it really, they just didn't give everything over to the campgrounds. So that was a little bit delayed. It's very funny to me. Anyways, so what you ended up was about 332 campsites. It included air-conditioned shower facilities, land transportation to the other parts of Disney World, and steamboat transportation to the Magic Kingdom. These were real campsites. You could do a tent on them. You could bring a recreational vehicle. But these were campsites. They did not have cabins at this point either, like we now know that they have over there. Nope, they just had campsites. Any guess what it costs to rent a campsite?
Oh my gosh, like $10, probably less.
Yeah,
like
$11.
$5.
$11. Uh-huh. Yep, $11. Here's what I thought was very interesting, though. To help guests get around Fort Wilderness extensive grounds, because they did rapidly expand the campgrounds because they were so popular, the resort unveiled its own Fort Wilderness Railroad in 1974. Yeah, it did shut down in 1980 because the train and the way they built it was not great. They had a lot of trouble. They had a lot of trouble with this railroad. So it was only open for 6 years, but still parts of the train tracks, if you're wandering around the campgrounds, you can still see part of the train tracks because not unlike River Country, they just decided to let it be. We're just going to stop and let it be. So you can still find remnants of the track there. Yeah, eventually River Country did become a big draw for staying at the campsites or at the campgrounds. But even that closed down. So, yeah. There's your Disney history section for
That's really
day.
funny. Mm-hmm. I need to look up River Country. I haven't seen a photo of it in a while.
Like, I look back and think, like, compared to what water parks are now and what they had then, like, very, very primal.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. They certainly utilized part of the lake there, which they would never do now.
No.
But, yeah.
But that pool looks fabulous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There were a lot of good parts to River Country. That obviously wasn't open for opening day, but, yeah, there were a lot of great things about River Country. And then...
You know what's cool, though? It kind of looks like the new hotel that, like, you could almost match that up. The, like, road in the River Country photo and the road behind this new resort.
Yeah, the new DVC hotel at Wilderness Lodge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is being built exactly where River Country was.
You can kind of see the lagoon, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the indent. That's funny. Yeah, wild. Just wild times.
Mm-hmm.
I always think about this, like, people that, you know, go to Disney now for the first time, and like just me going for the first time in 2016, how different things are, and like they never knew that those little boats were like a thing, or some of these other things that have disappeared since were a thing. And now I can't imagine like that lady that went to every opening day that we met at the parade, like how wild, like all the things she knows about that we don't, because you know, it's just crazy.
I know it. And just how much things have changed. Like, I just think back to, like, Disney would never open a resort nowadays, like, that way. I mean, they've learned a thing or two, so that's good. But
they have a lot more money now.
Yeah, also true. But just to think, like, the guy that was, like, running it and building it,
just camped for 6 months straight at a bunch of different campgrounds.
It's like it's the thing we hear about Bob Gurr, like that Walt was just like, hey, you know cars, do this, and he just had to figure it out, you know, like it felt Like, I think that's the most Walt-like thing to me, that they were just like, oh, also we need campgrounds. Here you go. Here's somebody who has a degree
He
in
has a degree.
recreation. That's,
Yeah.
uh-huh. I
That's
think
in the
that's
right,
so
you
funny.
know,
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
That
So,
is funny.
little touch of wall.
Man. So I have never stayed at any of those 3 original. The contemporary I would like to, but for me, I think it would have to be the main building. I don't think I would stay and be in the garden. I would do Bay Lake too, just because it's closer, but I would want my first time to be in the actual main tower. But it's just never really I can never justify it, I guess. I don't know.
It's a hard sell at like $600, $700, $800 a night. Yeah.
And yeah, it's convenient to get to the Magic Kingdom. You can walk easily, but that's really not a huge deal.
Right.
For us.
So this is my hot take. Are you ready? I don't think a monorail resort is worth it. I don't. They're amazing. If you have little ones, and I mean little ones, it makes sense. But there are 3 other parks on the other side of the property that you could get to just as easily and as quickly via bus. I just don't think the monorail resorts are worth it. Are they amazing? Absolutely. We stayed at the Poly when we went for my son's first birthday, and it was great because we did spend a lot of time in Magic Kingdom because that's where the most attractions are for little ones. My niece and nephew would have been 5, I guess. And so we were going with a horde of little ones, and it did make sense because we probably were there more days or hopped there more days than we didn't. And so to be able to hop on the monorail and go is nice. Also, to not have to break down your stroller is nice. But to me, that is not worth $800 a night. It's just not.
I think for me, it will be a stay one night and a after hours night or a party night where you just want to get back to your resort quickly. Maybe. But you're right. I agree. And I hate the whole transferring monorails to get to Epcot. I don't want to do that. Do they bus to Epcot too?
I don't think they do.
Because that just is a lot of time for me. I don't.
Yeah, to have to get off and then change monorails and go at the TTC.
That's why I honestly, people don't sleep on the bus only transportation resorts.
No.
Because I'm going to tell you one thing. No matter where you stay at some point in your trip, Disney transportation is going to let you down and annoy you. It will be the most annoying part of your trip because you will either just miss a bus and have to wait a very long time with very tired feet for it, or the line for the monorail will be excessively long. The line for the Skyliner at the end of the night will be long, or it will lightning and you will have to get bus transportation, and they have to now come up with these buses to get you to these Skyliner resorts that they didn't have running before.
Right.
And find the bus drivers to do it. There's nobody driving the Skyliners, just the people that are working there, and they're not going to go hop in a bus and start driving a bus all of a sudden.
Right. Yep.
So there are downfalls to every single resort and every single mode of transportation. They will annoy you at some point in your trip. That's why a lot of people still drive their personal vehicles, because they just avoid that whole headache right then.
Yeah. I will say, now that you don't have to pay for the overnight parking or the parking at the parks with your personal vehicle if you are a resort guest, this does make a lot of sense.
Yep.
I still say utilize don't rent a car when you go to Disney. That's stupid. But
no, not if that's the only thing you're doing. It's a waste of money.
Yeah. But if you were planning to bop back and forth to Universal or do other Orlando area attractions, rent a car. That's fine. But if all you're doing is Disney, don't rent a car. But yes, I completely agree. I think at some point, yeah. And that's 100% true. We stayed at the Grand Floridian for our anniversary, and it was great, but at the same point, you're still being bused to every other park.
And I used to tell people all the time, like, they'll say, where's your favorite place to stay when you go to Disney? And they don't like my answer because it's a vacation house. Mm-hmm. I love staying on Disney property, don't get me wrong, but I also love a vacation house with my own private pool, my own kitchen. And honestly, driving 20 minutes to your vacation house is about the same amount of time as it's going to take you to exit the park, get in line for a bus, get in a bus, and then take it to your resort. It's about the same amount of time.
I mean, just
and
that
you're
day
not
leaving
shoved
Magic
in
Kingdom.
a bus with a bunch of people. Like, the only
or
part
sitting
that's
on
annoying
someone's
is the
lap
Magic
on a
Kingdom.
boat.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom to drive is a headache just because of parking lot. People don't realize this. It's a literal mile away. And you have water separating you, so you have to do the ferry or a monorail. Busy times they'll have bus too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I tried to get that through people's heads. Like, I know that looks like a great thing, and like I love the Skyliner, but the more and more I'm like, I don't think it's, what's going to determine where I stay anymore. It doesn't have to be a Skyliner resort.
Yeah. The transportation, 100%. Transportation for me is not, and I think that's ultimately what boils down to, like, the monorail not being worth it, because bus only doesn't suck. Like, transportation is not the main factor for me when I'm picking a Disney resort. It's just not. The other amenities and offerings at a resort are, for me, what make the most sense. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so if transportation is not the most important thing to you when you're picking a resort, what is?
I feel like it's changed. When we first started to go, it was just merely based on budget. Like, it was the cheapest we could go, which most of the time it was Pop. And like when we first started staying at Pop, like the Skyliner wasn't a thing. So like since the Skyliner has been built, Pop Century is more expensive. Both it and art, which I don't feel like is ever worth the splurge. It's my hot take. Feel like now it's like based on what we're going to do most that trip and where we want to be kind of located. If we aren't going to do as many park days, like I would pick Coronado right now. Like if I was planning a trip right now, even if we were doing a bunch of park days, I may pick Coronado just because I love the food options there.
Yeah. I've stayed there. I forgot about that.
Oh my god. Yeah, you did.
So silly. Oh, and Animal Kingdom. Oh my god. What's wrong with me?
You see, I knew you had to have stayed at more places. So you're up to 8 now.
Okay. All right. Anyways.
No, I feel like Animal Kingdom Lodge is one that I would like to stay at with my kids, but it would probably be one where we're kind of not going to do the parks because it is kind of a hop, skip, and a jump away.
It is a hike. Yep. It's a hike for sure. I think for me, the thing that, yes, it is 100% about what that trip is about and what we're planning to do, that determines where I stay on property, because it is
and
not
budget, guys. Like I'm not rolling in dough. Within the right price point. Because I just think there used to be so much more offered as a resort guest, and Disney has taken a lot of that away. There are still the added perks of like you do get the early entry, you do get the extended time to book for lightning lanes and length of stay dining reservations. Like those are great, but those are offered to all guests regardless of price point. So I feel like you need to think about what makes the most sense for your family and what your goals are for that trip to be in that boat. So I agree. Podcast number problem. The kids are very loud. I mean, it's almost Christmas break.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask if that was a thing for you, because I know my sisters, they're off of school at this point, so I didn't know if you guys still had school this week.
Really? No, they went today and they go tomorrow, and then they're off until the 5th. They go back on January 5th when this goes up, which is also my birthday. Yeah. But no, I feel like things have definitely changed for me in the realm of resorts and Also, I get very annoyed with how much hate the All-Stars resort skit. Because while at certain times of the year you do want to try to avoid them, like cheerleading competitions and stuff, just because, like, it's a lot of kids, a lot of people, the cafeteria area is busier and all of that. The theming is larger than life and exciting. So when you have little kids, like, that's what they want to see. Mm-hmm. Like, they don't care about the pretty little Mary Poppins room and, like, they will like the slide and splash pad at Grand Floridian. But still, like, they will love the pool just as much. And, like, if you're on a budget, like, don't let people's, like, oh my god, you stayed at All-Star, or you're gonna stay there, like, that drives me nuts. And most of the time, it is cheaper to stay at an All-Star than it is at some of these, like, Marriotts and stuff outside of Disney. Mm-hmm. People think automatically it's just that's the most expensive part of their Disney trip is staying at a Disney resort, and it's not. It's the Disney tickets, which you're not going to get away from. Like, those are going to be expensive no matter where you stay. That is the most expensive part of your trip. So, don't let I'm going to save money by staying off-site. No, you're not, because you're going to pay more for parking. It's going to be a headache.
Yeah, you're going to have to Uber, or you're going to have to park, and And
if you do want to stay off-site and you're traveling with a large family, get a vacation house, not a hotel, like a bunch of hotel rooms. Get a vacation house with your own pool. I love it so much.
Yeah, so I agree. Okay, anything else that we need to touch? I mean, we could go into depth. Like, we could honestly make Disney Resorts a 2-part episode because there's so much to talk about them. Because, I mean, we could go into detail about, because, one, the history nerd in me is, like, obsessed with, like, just, like, even from, like, if you're looking at, like, Pop Century, and then you look over at Art of Animation and you think, oh, these buildings kind of look similar. Well, some of them do, and there's a history behind that, right? Like, there's so many very cool things about that kind of stuff that we may just have to do a bonus episode on this at some point, because it is so fun to, like, think about that. And then we could really break down, as travel agents, as frequent Disney goers, what are the benefits? What would we change? So I think we might have to do a second episode.
I think we're going to have to.
Per the usual, well, guys, there's not enough time in the day.
If you want to hear part 2, if it were up to us,
well, you'll just have to listen.